Good day everyone. Today I will discuss to you the CFS or Completely Fair Scheduler. So first, overview of CFS. CFS stands for Completely Fair Scheduler and it's the new desktop process scheduler implemented by Ingo Molnar and merged in Linux 2.6.23. It is the replacement for the previous vanilla schedulers sched-other interactivity code. Ideal multitasking CPU is a non-existent CPU that has 100% physically power and which can run each task at prices equal speed in parallel, each at 1 NR running speed. For example, if there are 2 tasks running, then it's run each at 50% physically power, etc. actually in parallel. Next, CFS Completely Fair Process Scheduling in Linux. Linux takes a modular approach to processor scheduling in the different algorithm can be used to schedule different process type. A scheduling class specifies which scheduling policy apply to which type of process. Completely Fair Scheduling CFS, which become part of the Linux 2.6.23 kernel in 2007. Is the scheduling class for normal as opposite to real-time process and therefore in name schedule normal. CFS is graded for the interactive application typically in a desktop environment, but it can be configured as sched batch to favor the batch workloads common, for example, on a high-volume web server. In any case, CFS break dramatically with what might be called classically primitive scheduling. Also, the completely fair claim has to be seen with technical eye. Otherwise, the claim might seem like an empty boast. Next, classic primitive scheduling versus CFS. The classic model typically include multiple scheduling queue, one per process priority. Every process in high priority queue get scheduled before any process in a lower priority queue. As an example, Vox or VMS use 32 priority queue for scheduling. CFS dispense with fixed time slice and explicit priority. The amount of time for a given task on a processor is computed dynamically as the scheduling context change over the system's lifetime. Next, CFS features. CFS supports symmetrically multiprocessing or CMP, in which any process, whether kernel or user, can execute on any processor, yet configurable scheduling domains can be used to group processors for load balancings or even segregation. If several processors share the same scheduling policy, then load balancing among them is an option. If a particular processor has a scheduling policy different from the others, then this processor would be segregated from the other with respect to scheduling. Next, CFS implementation. CFS require efficient data structures to track task information and high performance code to generate the schedules. Let's begin with a central term in scheduling, the run queue. This is a data structure that represents a timeline for scheduled tasks. Despite the name of run queue need not be implemented in the traditional way. As a FIFO list, CFS break with traditions by using a time-ordered red block tree as a run queue. The data structure is sweet for the job because it is a self-balancing binary search tree with efficient insert and remove operations that execute in O log n time, where n in the number of nodes in the tree. Also, a tree is an excellent data structure for organizing and title into a hierarchy based on a particular property, in the case runtime. Next, in CFs, the tree's internal nodes represents tasks to the schedule, and the tree as a whole, like any run queue, represents a timeline for tasks. Execute red block tree are in wide use beyond scheduling. For example, Java use this data structure to implement its tree map. Under CFS, every processor has a specific run queue of tasks, and no tasks occur at the same time in more than one run queue. Each run queue is a red block tree. The tree's internal nodes represent tasks or task group, and these nodes are indexed by their runtime value, so that in the tree as a whole or in subtree, the internal nodes to the left have lower runtime value than the ones to the right. As you can see in the picture, this is the CFS red block tree. In summary, tasks with the lowest runtime and therefore the greatest need for a processor resides somewhere in the left subtree. Tasks with relatively high runtime congregate in the right subtree. Our preempted tasks would go into the right subtree, thus giving other tasks a chance to move leftward in the tree. As tasks with the smallest runtime wind up in the tree's leftmost internal nodes, which is thus the front of the run queue. CFS illustrate how straightforward idea give every task a fair share of processor resources can be implemented in a low cost but highly efficient way. It worth repeating that CFS achieved fair and efficient scheduling without traditional artifacts such as fixed time slice and explicit task priority. The first suite of even better scheduler goes on, of course. For the moment, however, CFS is as good as it gets for general purpose processor scheduling.